Welcome to your daily focus for November the 10th, 2020. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you truly. So we have the 10 energy today. We know that we are moving forward to better times, better energy. We are in the act of creating that very situation to enter our lives. We're paying attention to the full moon energy, allowing things to be released, completed, move past, allow healing from, to open the way, to make space for what you want to do. Maybe it's fitting something into your routine. Maybe it's fitting something into your work life. Maybe it's fitting something into your life in some way, some form, somehow. Oh, I saw the Ace of Pentacles. That's a good sign. And of course, 1 plus 0 is a 1. That is the Magician. It's also the independent us, the trailblazer, the pioneer. We want to go forward. The warrior in us. And also the magician. The magician appears. So we want to be very conscious of our self-talk, our inner talk, those conversations we have with ourselves, and make sure that we are raising ourselves up, telling ourselves how great we are, how deserving we are, how wonderful we are, because you are all those things. You wouldn't be here right now if you weren't. So I have the most incredible base of YouTubers. I don't know, family. So I miss you when you're not here. I look for you in the comments all the time. Anyways, so keep it positive minded today. Look towards the future. Look towards what you want to bring in. Your wish will be granted when the magician appears. If you do the numerology of the day, it is a 16. That is the Tower energy. But in numerology, it leans a little bit more towards awakenings. Getting the clarity, getting the understanding. I think Mercury is actually moving back into Scorpio today. Pretty sure. Check with your astrologers, but I'm pretty sure. So we will want to research and ask the questions and get clarity and understanding and dig. And the more the challenge, the more that we'll just dive right in there and want to start doing those things. I think we'll have the rest of the month with Mercury before Mercury moves into Sagittarius. But for the month of November, the rest of the month of November. Now, I think we are, because it came out of retrograde, I think we're in the shadow until almost November the 20th. So we will be revisiting things. We will have those deja vu moments. We will understand with clarity now, because we lived it once and then we went back through the energy, and now we're coming through and closing things off. Understanding through words, through letters you need to write. Maybe it's getting your finances in order, sitting down with the pen and the scratch pad and figuring out your finances. Or maybe you have an Excel program, but you know, depending on your generation. So 16 is awakenings, getting the clarity, getting the understanding. And sometimes we understand that things have to leave our life in order for new things to enter. If you want to enter a relationship, you're going to have to give up some of your independence, some of your downtime. So what downtime are you willing to give up in order to step into that relationship, in order to welcome that relationship in order to work towards that relationship growing deeper and stronger each and every day? And 1 plus 6 is a 7, standing in our truth. Absolutely. It's about bringing in balance, harmony into our life, growing harmony, seeing where we can bring in harmony, and then working towards those goals, those successes. We have the sun in Scorpio, moon is in Virgo, so we'll be, diving deep into work, absolutely. Getting our ducks in a row, understanding what belongs, what doesn't belong, what has value, what doesn't have value. Very truth-seeking energy, but with a beauty attached to it. That we want to see the best. We want it to look the best. We want to imagine the best. And we're very practical at the same time. We're very grounded. So we're not up in the sky kind of thing. Although, I think Venus and Neptune is in retrograde, are talking up in the sky. They're getting along. So we could learn things through other people. You ever been in a conversation and somebody says something and they go, I have no idea why I said that, but it hit home to you? You knew exactly why they said that? Our dreams, God, our angels, our spirit guides coming to us, speaking to us, are through another. Maybe an animal. I remember when I was a young girl and, lived out in the country, but you didn't worry about the things like you do today. It was be home or be home for supper time, and then you could go back out until the lights turned on the street, and then you had to come in, right? So, so we lived in the country, but there was that one street light, and it told on us all the time. So I'd been walking down this one road, and a car came by. And then it turned around, and it went by again. And then this beautiful German Shepherd came and stood next to me. And the car went by. He slowed down. He rolled down his window, said, "You're lucky your dog's with you." And he drove off. And the dog ran off. And I looked. That was like a pathway to civilization for me. So I walked that road many times, and I always looked in people's backyards and windows to see if there was a German Shepherd there, and I never did find that German Shepherd. So don't think for a second that if God, your angels, your spirit guides needs to tell you something today, listen, because they're trying to get your attention. Absolutely today. The sun in Neptune, our intuition is strong. And our dreamscape is very strong. We feel more sensual. We feel more loving. Okay, well, let's see what the cards have to say, shall we? Before I think of another thing to talk about. Okay. Sometimes I ramble. Nine of Wands. Sometimes I ramble and look at the card I get. So my longtime viewers know exactly what I mean here. The Nine of Wands. Behind you stands all these beautiful, straight, tall wands with flowers, leaves sprouting on each and every one of them. And each of them represent a major path that you had to walk in your life in order to get to the here and now. And now you hold this short little stubby thing in your hand. It's all knotted, and you are looking at it. You are sizing it up. You are sizing up your tomorrow, your journey forward, what you are going to do, who you are going to become, what you are going to invent or change or transform or create. We're dressed in red and white. The white represents new beginnings, new starts. The red is courage that we will need and passion. And I have to tell the story. So, I have. So the story goes that a young girl wove thread yarns, ropes, different textures, different colors, different strengths, different sizes, for different jobs, for different ways of using it. And one day her father came into the spinning room and said, "Daughter, it's time that we pack up our wares and we go and sell these items and perhaps get you a husband." And she said, "Okay, Father." And she packed everything up and they got on board a ship, and there was a great storm that came, and she woke up on a beach all alone, the only survivor. And these guards came along and grabbed her and took her to the marketplace and put her up for sale. And a man saw her and thought he could probably give her a good life, and she could probably learn easily the things that she needed to do around his home. So he bought her, and she went to work making different tarps and canvases and cloths of different colors and strengths and purposes and uses. And one day he said, "We must pack up and go and sell our goods." And so she said, "Okay." And so she helped pack up, and they boarded the ship, and it was taken over by pirates, and she was taken captive. The pirates put her to work making the long masts to hold the sails and to mend them and to fix them. And one night there was a giant storm, and yes, you guessed it, there she was, washed up, the lone survivor of the ship. And she looked up into the heavens and she said, "Why? Why do you do this to me? Every time I start to get happy with my life, I'm comfortable with my life, I have people around me that I love and they love me, or at least we can work together as community. Why, when I accept my life as it is, just when I think I'm getting grounded, you go and rip the carpet out from underneath my feet? Why?" And along came some guards and says, "We have to take you to the emperor." And she said, "Of course you do." So away they went, and the emperor sat her down, and he says, "Legend says, prophecy says that a lone woman would be washed up on the shores, and she would be able to make these most beautiful tents in all the world, and would make not only the kingdom but the emperor extremely rich and happy beyond his wildest dreams. Can you do this?" And she thought about it for a second, and she says, "Yeah, I think I can." So he says, "Okay, what do you need?" She says, "Well, first we need big canvases for the walls and the ceiling." And he goes, "We have nothing like that here." And she goes, "Don't worry, I know how to make it." So away they went. "What do you need next?" She says, "Well, now we need long poles to put in along the walls and the centers to hold it upright. We have nothing like that here." And she says, "Don't worry, I know how to make them, so we'll get to work on that." And then he came up and he says, "What else do you need?" And she says, "Well, now we need strong ropes so that we can peg it up and hold it firm." And once again, the emperor said, "We have nothing like that here." And she says, "Don't worry, I know how to make it." And she went to work. And she made the most beautiful tent in all the world, and made not only the kingdom but the emperor extremely rich and happy beyond his wildest dreams. And so he brought her in front of him again and said, "You have done all this for me. What can I do for you?" And she thought about it for a minute, and she said, "Well, a long time ago, my dad and I set out to find me a husband. So I guess I would like a husband." And he said, "Marry me." And they lived happily ever after. So sometimes we walk these paths and we don't know why we've walked these paths, but they come together, they merge together. When the Nine of Wands appeared, they merge together in order to bring with us the wisdom and the desire and the passion in order to go forward, in order to take on this challenge, not knowing if it will turn out like the other ones behind us, the other paths we walked, the successes we have had. We got the King of Cups. Stereotypical dad asking us if we have our ducks in a row. You know, dad will ask, "Do you have enough money? Where are you working? Who are you hanging out with? Where are you going tonight? Who are you going with? Who's their parents?" And I think dads mainly do that because these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves when we go off into our own independence. We need to be aware of, how much are we making? Do we like this job? Do we like the people we are surrounded with? And to ask ourselves these questions as we go forward. So today could have a lot to do with, meditate, pray, sit in contemplation, ponder the question of, am I happy? And what would I like to create in my life? What would I like to invent in my life? What would I like to manifest in my life in order to bring that happiness in, that joy in? Because remember, we're starting a brand new path, so anything's on the table. And the Page of Swords. So we had finally a reading where we've got control of the situation a little bit. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. We are highly spiritual. We are very connected to God, our angels, our spirit guides. So listen to the whispers in your ear. Have conversations with seemingly yourself. And you'll get those aha moments. You'll get those epiphanies. You'll know what to do. The clarity will come in, or the clarity will come in of where to look, where to explore, where to investigate, what questions to ask, what responses to give, what actions to do. Now, we have to watch it because the Page of Swords, she's a young energy. So sometimes we just do things because, doggone it, we just want to get things moving in one way or another. Like, let's wake up already and get moving on this path. And so we may do something that probably wasn't such a good idea if we would have thought it out. We didn't, hindsight's 20/20, they say, but we didn't look far enough forward to really understand the implications of our acts or our words. So be careful of that. Let's get a mantra card, shall we? So today is a day to dream, absolutely. But it's, Neptune is involved, but I love Neptune retrogrades because when Neptune is going forward, sometimes we see what we want to see. Tell ourselves some stories and we believe it, because we told ourselves that it's okay. It's okay. And we don't really see the truth of the situation. When Neptune goes retrograde, our eyes start to open. We start to ask some questions. We get a little bit more grounded. And then we come through it again and we know what the truth is, or our truth is. Our own personal truth. And that's as unique as you are personally. Nobody has the same dreams. Look at this, moving forward, getting ready for positive change. And that's exactly what today is about. It's about moving forward. It's about getting ready for positive change in your life. So this is like the winter, right? We know we're in winter. We know we have to get to work. We know we have to apply ourselves. We know that we have to focus on things. We know that we have to make the plan, look at the strategy, gain information, gain knowledge. So that we are ready for the springtime. So we are ready for the birth of our new experience, our new world, our new desires, our new challenges, our new successes that lie in waiting. Moving forward. The mantra is, I am ready to move forward with confidence. I am ready to move forward with confidence. This card is a confidence card. This card is a strength card. And we may have to look within. We may have to really look at the path that we want to walk and know that there are challenges and to want to embrace those challenges and move through them because you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the strength, you have the passion, have the belief in yourself as well. So I'm ready to move forward with confidence. Okay, we'll get an animal. On my way to work this morning, because it was quite early when I was going, there was a field full of wild turkeys, and in the corner were 3 deer. Oh, and then there was a peregrine hawk. They're gorgeous. I take all the country roads. My dad always told me, don't be in so much of a hurry to get somewhere that you don't enjoy each moment of the trip, of the journey. So even when I'm going to and from work, so long as the roads are clear, I'm starting to go, all the leaves are falling, which means the snow will be falling. Look at this, strut your stuff with the peacock. The peacock was coming out there like so repetitious, and then left us for a while, but is back today to tell us to strut our stuff. We're getting there. There we are. Beauty, confidence, foresight, and clairvoyance. So doesn't that sum up everything that we've been talking about? Never bend your head. Always hold it high. And look the world straight in the eye. Peacock is completely aware of his beauty and wants you to work on believing that you too are beautiful, inside and out. Peacock believes that you have lost confidence with your inner and outer appearance. Oftentimes, to regain that confidence, you have to fake it to make it. And it is then that you push yourself into a vibration that is true self. So, fake it till you make it. Stand there with a strength, with a confidence, with a sense of authority, an aura of authority, and act like you've already succeeded. Believe it. The money's in the bank. The relationship is happening. The job promotion came through. The new business took off with flying colors. See yourself successful. Raise your vibration. Often to regain that confidence, you have to fake it to make it. And that's when you push yourself into the vibration of which is true self. Peacock may have come into our lives today to show us that we are coming into a new spiritual growth path. It may be time to begin working on a certified in Reiki, quantum touch, take a tarot or meditation class. If you are feeling less than beautiful, embrace Peacock and allow him to help you strut your stuff. So know that you are beautiful, inside and out. Know that you are awakening to a special, beautiful path going forward. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.